smells like maple syrup and vapes in here. Hello?
Barnyard is another one of those forgotten movies from our childhoods that our mind just seems to throw away. Airing in mid-2006, the movie scored big in the box office, making a gross profit of around $116 million. However, it seems the love for this movie has been replaced with sheer annoyance by most of its past viewers. As a matter of fact, a lot of negative reviews emerged from this movie despite its box office success. The movie scored a 42 out of 100 on Metacritic, but we'll go back to those reviews at the end. So let's just jump into the movie. The movie starts off with the farmer leaving his house to go out to the city. I do have to say that the animation is very different than what I remember when I was a kid, and man, I kinda really don't miss it all that much. I will give the animation a break since it does look 10 times better than anything like Food Fight. After performing some crazy teenage antics, Otis interrupts his dad, Ben, during the farm meeting.
Is strictly prohibited.
Ben then gets furious at Otis because of his carefree lifestyle, in addition to associating with the Gopher Mafia. But Ben ultimately criticizes Otis about his immaturity. Otis basically becomes an anarchist.
If I were in charge, things would be different. Every animal for himself. That's the way it should be.
Oops, my anarchy symbol.
But ultimately enough, Otis just proves to us that he's an asshole. Later on, 2 more cows are new to the barnyard, and Otis takes interest in one of them. He finds out that the one he likes, Daisy, is pregnant. However, the chocolate cow cockblocks the hell out of him.
Back off, Daisy. There's an L on that boy's forehead.
Now, the chocolate cow's name is Bessie, and she's voiced by Wanda Sykes, which got me thinking a little bit. Wanda Sykes came out lesbian 2 years after this movie came out. Coincidence? Probably. Now, Ben and Otis had a personal chat about when Otis was a kid. He reveals to us that Otis was actually adopted, which was a really nice scene to have between both of them. But then Otis ruins it, of course, with his Astopia.
I love you, son. You still want to go, don't you?
Yeah, I really do.
Otis instead goes out to a party rather than be on guard duty with Ben. Now there's an intense party scene with a lot, and I mean a lot of farm puns, like, a lot.
Were you raised in the barn?
But oh no, the pizza guy is here, and what do? Oh, they just use human arms, and... that face pretty much sums this all up. Anyway, while the party rages on, Ben detects danger. He finds the coyotes attempting to raid the chicken coop, so he comes to save them. Interesting enough, the lead coyote has a Joker-like personality.
You know me, lady killer. You have us at a bit of a disadvantage here, Ben.
Ben fights the coyotes off, only to result in him collapsing on the ground. Honestly, I have no idea of what. His body looks clean of wounds, he was only bitten a couple times. Maybe it was a heart attack or something. Those always happen to old people.
Typically the patient would cup his hands in front of the chest like this, and you know
them in their old lives. But to be honest, this scene was actually designed pretty well. I really did actually feel something for this scene. Granted, it's one of the very few scenes that I actually felt something. The farmer buries Ben, which I really don't understand why when you could just have a nice steak on that table, but really you just find out it's because the farmer's vegan, and he just has animals for fun. After Ben's death, the farm goes in an all-out party mode, which was really kind of eh. But fuck, the farmer sees them and fucking holy shit.
What did you do that for?
What else was I gonna do?
Later on, one of the cows gets tipped by some future brony. So in order to get revenge, Otis steals a fucking car to drive to that nigga's house and scare the goddamn ass out of him and scar him for life. This then leads to a car chase. Honestly, the jokes aren't all misses. Some of them are still a little funny.
Yeah, we'll shake him up a bit, send him home. Get out, kids. Nothing a little strip search won't cure, yeah? Is this thing still on?
Otis and his friends are able to successfully dodge the cops with a little bit of damage to the car. The next scene is basically character development between Otis and Daisy, But honestly, Otis just met this girl and he's interested in fathering her child. Like, dude, for real, baby steps. Like he's trying to fucking skip to home base on a basketball court.
Get out of here! You nasty bastard!
So Otis goes on guard duty and discovers a few coyotes are in the area. So Otis tries to find and fight the coyotes, but they destroy his pride instead.
Otis, where were you? Were you off having fun? Laughing with your barnyard buddies? Yeah, you could have made a difference had you been there for him, but you weren't, were you?
He basically gives up on life by going to those coyotes' hideout and kicking their dirt-filled asses. But after the final fight scene, the movie tried to also mimic The Lion King. Now this is a good time to mention this. While yes, some people say that this movie seems to be copying the plot of The Lion King, I have to disagree. Otis's character is a lot older than Simba when his dad died, so I feel like it's fair to say that the grieving process was vastly different between the two film scenarios. Otis felt regret, and felt the ultimate need to set up to the plate and be the big Billy badass everyone needed. While Simba also came to the realization it took years until he knew his friends and family actually needed him. Plus he was a kid, so he couldn't really understand the gravity of the situation, and for most of his life, it wasn't really all that applicable. In Otis's situation though, he understood that he needed to man up and take charge almost immediately. Plus the coyote wasn't trying to absurd Ben in any way, he just wanted that young KFC, yo. So Daisy has a kid.
Aw, it's a beautiful little boy.
The movie's over. And overall, I honestly think this movie isn't all that bad. I do think that some of the jokes are kind of, well, cringy, and the plot seems pretty generic and bland. But the movie does have its moments. But say, let's pull out one of those reviews I found on Metacritic. This movie was terrible. I wish I hadn't seen it, and I wish I hadn't taken my 4 nieces to go see it. Aside from the biological mistakes and crude drawings, I felt like I had to debrief the children I felt with about horrifying stereotypes and poor decision-making in the film. Like animal stealing, drink, joyride, breaking, entering, behave violently, and doing things that are just not cool. And all presented in harmless fun. The presentation of all roller folks are either uneducated, stupid, crazy, or alcoholic was anything but charming. For most parts of the film that were intended to be jokes, the theater was filled with kids with silence. And this is just sad. But being a knitter, the presentation of knitting was so inaccurate that it was actually irritating to watch. Wow, like fuck. While yes, the male cows have udders and get drunk on milk and honey, and they make horrible stereotypes and behave in violent manners and do a lot of highly illegal crimes, it's a goddamn kids movie. Calm the fuck down. I'm not gonna say the message for this movie is the best, it's far from it. But the jokes can be a little bit charming at times, cause you could tell the writers were having fun with it. But being a knitter myself, I do have to say, just keep sewing, buddy. Cause that's all the enjoyment you're ever gonna get. But in all honesty, would I watch Barnyard again? Probably not. Maybe for like a few minutes. Oh yeah, it's also probably good to mention that the movie had a spin-off. It fucking sucked.
Hello? If anyone's watching, I'm Uncle Unbated. I'm an edgy piece of shit that does YouTube reviews. I don't know why I'm in this room, but it's not necessarily the first time. So I'm trying to do reviews when I can. Shit. 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 Ooh, Sonic Adventure 2. Shit. Granted, I feel like that a lot of people are not really a fan of, you know, the edgy teen boy from school flipping desks and flicking off teachers, so they kind of just, you know, throw shit at me, so. don't necessarily know how I'm going to get out of this situation. But I don't fucking care. I'll just play things and make reviews. That's all I can do. Whoever's out there, could you please just turn the internet back on? It's really boring. Sucks. I think I hear someone. Hear that? Hear that? It's actually nothing. Fuck you.